To discuss the figures that have come out, I've got Ashutosh Mishra as well as Avinash Gorashkar who are joining us on this conversation. Welcome, gentlemen. Firstly, just a quick take on the Kotak Mahindra Bank results. The year-on-year comparison seems to be there's a 2.7% dip on the net profit, right? And alongside that, they have, however, beaten the estimates. Provisions have gone up on a year-on-year basis, but broadly, things seem pretty strong asset quality-wise. The bank has performed quite well. Let me go across to my guests. Firstly, Avinash, I just wanted to pick up this conversation with you, Avinash. What do you make of these numbers that have come out from Kotak Mahindra Bank?
Yeah, I think Vishy rightly pointed out that on a standalone basis, I think numbers have come in line with expectations. It was expected to be more or less a flat quarter, so 3253 crores was the standalone profit. But I think the asset quality has been the most important point. Asset quality has actually improved both on the gross as well as on the net level. But I think one key negative has been the underperformance from the insurance business. There's been a big drop of 31% on the insurance side. But I think clearly, we'll like to know from the management commentary what's the kind of outlook they will be sharing. But net, I think numbers are pretty okay. I think the markets should definitely look at it as a kind of a good quarter because the asset quality being maintained, the deposit and advances both have also been pretty good. So I think net, I think obviously second half we expect it to be a much better quarter. Our sense is that both the ROE as well as the return on assets could see a better elevation in the second half period. But overall, I think numbers are in line. So there's nothing, there's not a very big kind of disappointment. Most importantly, I think, the asset management business has shown a good growth of almost, 22%. The AUM has increased by about 15%. So I think net, I think it's a good performance, but I think maybe on the insurance side, we'll require a little more clarity.
Ashutosh, I want to bring you into the conversation. Net interest margin-wise, there's been a dip now. Of course, that was widely expected, 4.53%, if I'm not wrong, on the net interest margin side. What do you make of these figures that have come out, Ashutosh?
So net interest margin is slightly, better than what I was expecting it.
Okay.
And again, if you look at, their CASA ratio has improved on sequential basis. The cost of saving bank deposit also has declined substantially if you look at from year basis as well as quarter basis. So the thing is that the decline in a net interest margin was marginally below what we all were expecting it out there. And another positive from the second half may look far better because if you look at a quarter-on-quarter growth in the loan book and some of these benefit on the cost of funds front which start playing out in a much bigger way. So second half may be far better for them. And surely on asset quality, they are doing quite well. They are managing costs very efficiently at a standalone level. So those things are, working in the favor of the bank. Yes, quarter-on-quarter numbers does not look good because there was a dividend and treasury income component in the first quarter, which is missing in this quarter.
Quick view on the credit card book as well. Avinash, I actually will pick this up with you. 14% dip on the credit card portfolio. 12,444 crore. Now, one would have assumed that after the RBI restrictions on credit cards were removed, that business would have picked up. Even on the personal loan side, there's actually been a positive growth. But credit card seems to still be lagging. Any view on that?
No, I think my sense is that, maybe, that was an area where possibly the bank wanted to be a little cautious considering that it's an unsecured loan book growth. So I think my sense is possibly, with the festival season coming up the second half, we could see a better traction. So, obviously a little disappointment on that front. But I would say that the second half, we could see a little better traction on the credit card loan book growth. So maybe, the third quarter and the fourth quarter could possibly stand out as compared to the second quarter.
Okay. Ashutosh, any views on the unsecured book and the kind of growth that we are seeing? Because I'm frankly surprised that you're still being cautious on the credit card business when the other banks are all indicating that things are actually improving.
Yeah, I would just like to put another on a consumer behavioral part of it. Normally, we spend credit card and it convert into the personal loans, and this is what being encouraged by the many banks, and the Kotak is also one of them. So probably some due growth in the credit card portfolio and no growth in personal loan portfolio, maybe because of this. We have a very good festive season spending. And some of these spending may get converted into the personal loan. That may happen in this quarter.
Right. Ashutosh, stay with me. Avinash, I wanted to pick up the other part of the loan book and the growth that we are seeing in right now. You're seeing home loans performing well, you're seeing business banking performing well, and you're seeing corporate banking performing well. All three core areas. However, one would not have associated Kotak Mahindra Bank with some of these businesses. So just trying to get a sense of what you make of the rest of the loan book growth. 16% net advances growth. So that's it's looking quite strong if you were to look at just the headline number.
Yeah, exactly. I think, corporate loan book has shown a good growth. I think my sense is that typically the retail financing book, I think possibly could get a good boost in the second half. I think the number has been more or less flat, but I think if you look at the bigger chunk, that is the corporate and the wholesale banking, that is something which has done well. My sense is that, I think probably the treasury and the corporate, function also should do well. I think this quarter, I think the number has been down on a YY basis. So that is also one element which possibly could look up in the second half. But more importantly, as I was mentioning, that the asset management business has shown a very good traction, almost 21-22% on a YY basis. So that I think should sustain, considering there's a lot of SIP kind of money coming in. And obviously that should actually give them a good leap up in the second half. Hopefully with markets doing well, the SIP traction should continue.
Ashutosh, you picked up on the CASA ratio front earlier. So there's been this significant improvement, as far as Kotak is concerned, 42.3%. That's where the CASA ratio is coming in at significantly better than the 40.9% in Q1. What do you think has helped Kotak Mahindra Bank? Is it largely rates that are driving this movement?
No, on a rate front, I don't find it, because if you the cost of saving bank deposit, they are now publishing it from last few quarters. There they have seen improvement out there. So it's not on the rate front, but if you look at just even on loan book growth front, you will find that business banking growth is much stronger at 8%. Business banking assets has grown by 8%. So probably something on a car front, they have done something better on that part. It looks like.
Okay, so essentially funding their own deposit base.
Yeah.
That's.
Saying it, state will not drive part of it, but whenever business banking goes up, normally current account also get benefit.
No, of course. This is common business for most banks out there. Avinash, I wanted to ask you this point about the insurance business that you mentioned earlier, that there the revenues dropped. Do you think this has something to do with their sale of the general insurance business that they undertook last year, even though that happened in Q1 last year? But still, does that have an impact at all?
No, I don't think. I think comparably, you can't compare that number with this number, but I think definitely traction has come down. I think we'll have to see how they compare with the other peers. But definitely, this kind of drop on a YY basis is definitely not a good sign. Although, my colleague, who also mentioned about deposits, deposit growth has been quite solid. So, the core business continues to do well. The asset management company business continues to do well, but insurance is probably a place where Kotak is not a very dominant player, and I think they have to do something more aggressive to actually, shore up their performance in the second half.
Yeah, so Ashutosh, let me pick up the retail microcredit front. There as well, 41% drop on a year-on-year basis, 5,700 odd crore is the portfolio. Now, last quarter also they pointed out that microcredit was weighing heavy on their asset quality front. You think that's continuing in Q2, and at what point in time do we see some amount of stabilization?
So it is 3% decline on sequential basis if you look at this retail microcredit degrowth, and it is an unexpected line. But no, if we see the broader trend in the microcredit market, now things have started improving in that part, and that's why we see that probably almost all major players see the bottoming out in the Q2, and going forward Q3 onward, this portfolio will start growing in, and the base is also quite lower for them. And I don't think so any further pain to come from this part of the portfolio. And this is being not a single player like Kotak. Across the industry, that improvement is quite visible.
Understood. Quick last points, gentlemen. First, Avinash, and then Ashutosh. If you can tell me in 10 seconds what you make of your one-line review of the Kotak Mahindra Bank results. Avinash, you goes first.
So I think we see these numbers could possibly be much better than what the market expected, and I think for the stock possibly you could see a little uptick on the stock on Monday morning.
Super. Ashutosh, what are you expecting?
Yeah, so stable performance on a standalone basis. There is some slip in subsidiary basis, but that given the whole things is improving, overall 2Q is expected to be far better for this bank.
Okay. Thank you so much, Avinash, as well as Ashutosh, for coming and joining us on Saturday afternoon to discuss these bank results. I mean, I think one thing that I want to do for sure convey to the management of all banks is that please give us our Saturdays. Let's keep that one aside. Overall, a stable quarter for Kotak Mahindra Bank. Yes, the profitability number was a little bit lower, but we'll keep an eye out for the conference call that's going to start in a few hours at about 4 p.m. But that's all we have on the show for now. Do stay tuned to NDTV Profit.